I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is a Patreon review for Paul. Thank you so much for that. If people want to request pretty much any type of video, whether it be a review, re-review, reaction, topic, movie topic, whatever type of video, you can request it either by sending it directly to my PayPal or joining me on my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. If not, no worries, but if so, thank you so much. Again, I'm still on the mend from being sick, so I apologize for my voice and such. Again, I apologize for that. Now, a while ago, I had reviewed for Paul Wind in the Willows. And this is one of the other parts of that story. In this case, it's called A Tale of Two Toads. And one of these things I might have seen way back on the day, either taped on a VHS tape or it was shown maybe on PBS, and I saw it briefly on there. I can't remember exactly, but while I can't really say I grew up with these type of films. It's obviously meant for children, but at the same time, it's interesting when you see characters like a mole, a rat, a badger. Damn. Fucking voice. A mole, rat, a badger, but they're talking very sophisticated and British and very complimentary and, hello, how are you doing, gentlemen? Very proper. Only because that's something you don't see anywhere nowadays. Either they're talking down to kids, or maybe they use a little bit of, well, I don't know if they use a little bit of language, but they use a little bit of attitude, or they use a little bit of gumption, or a little bit of, they don't really talk like these characters. Which, on one hand, maybe it's a little bit sad, because that would offer some variety. And also there's a certain calmness, sweetness to a lot of these characters that I think would be very appropriate for little children to watch and grow up with and be introduced to. And stuff like this is only a little over an hour long. The best part to me is the stop motion animation, because I'm a sucker, very much a sucker of stop motion animation. I love the way it looks. I love that you get that physicality, because it is something real, it is something tangible there. But at the same time, you get that flow of an animation. So it's an interesting blend of two worlds, where it's physical but it's animated. So you don't really see a lot of that stuff nowadays. Now, perhaps it's because with stop motion, it's time consuming. You gotta imagine that you move something, you move this little thing here, you click, then you move a little bit thing here, and so on and so forth. You gotta make sure everything is right. So if someone's moving an arm, you don't want to be like, oh, I fucked up, so he's moving his arm, then a little jerk here, but then keeps going, and be like, where the hell did that come from? So you have to be particular, you have to be exact, and you have to, like you said, it sounds like a very time consuming. That's why Robot Chicken, which I enjoy, that's why those episodes are very short. You look at how short those episodes are, that's more than likely why. Because of that. That's probably why these are a little bit more than an hour long. Which even then, that's, yeah, I think an hour long, that's a lot of time to move these characters, especially when you get into scenes at the end when there's a battle and there's where two characters that look very similar, they're knocking each other down, or they're chasing around each other, or they're hanging on chandeliers. So I will say I appreciate the work that goes into it. Now I wouldn't say I loved it in the fact of the characters are, for the most part, are fairly boring. For me, for my taste. I mean, Toad, he's definitely the one with the personality, and he's the one who's very different and energetic and almost a blowhard. The beginning, he screws himself over, he's on his little steamship, like steamboat, and he gets himself knocked off of it. The story is that when I reviewed that previous one, these weasels who are the bad guys, they wanted to take over this thing called Toad Hall, pretty much the town hall, and they lost. Here they find an impersonator that looks exactly like Toad, an actor, a con artist, who also talks very prim and proper, but then he'll clear his throat and start talking that crazy way Toad talks. So they knock out the real Toad, they lock him in the basement, and the fake Toad goes out there and talks smack to the others. Talks smack to Mole, Rat, Badger, talks smack saying, well, this guy said this about you, and this guy said this about you, and he's so much of a dick, he almost runs over some fucking kids, some little animal kids, which even the kids here are very prim and proper and ready for them to say, may I have another porridge, sir? Either that, I'm waiting for another brick in the wall to start playing, we don't need no education. But yeah, the kids are going, oh, he says we're such a nuisance. And then of course the three realize, wait, something's up. This ain't our real Toad. And then they find out, they knock him out, they get the real Toad. They tell him, hey, lie and pretend you're the con artist guy, see what's going on. You realize the weasels are trying to blow up the other houses because they're assholes. They stop it. And then it ends with the real and the fake Toad chasing around each other, knocking each other around, hanging on chandeliers. And all ends well. So it's not a lot to talk about story plot-wise, because it's very simple, basic setup. Here's a fake one, takes over for the real one, tries to create trouble, they still don't work out, the evil plan stopped, the bad Toad is stopped, the end. The voice acting, it works for what they're supposed to do. I mean, like I said, most of the very that British, highly intelligent, proper way of grammar. Talking very sophisticated and very calm and very sincere. Which I guess being an American, we're all burgers and McDonald's and WWF and America. I'm not, that's not something I see typically, but on the flip side is, it's a change of pace, and to be serious, it does work well for the subject matter. It does work well for little kids to see, and they see these animals that are being nice and kind, and maybe that could subconsciously teach kids to act that way as well. And there's nothing harmful or obnoxious or harmful, or it's a very innocent, it's very easy for a parent to show this to their kids, is what I'm getting at. And like I said, the thing that impresses me the most is the stop motion animation. I should have had this up. I want to get some info on who made it. I don't know if it says exactly who did the animation. Came out in 1989. It's part of The Wind in the Willows, which is based on the 1908 novel by Kenneth Grahame. It was animated by Cosgrove Hall and broadcast on children's ITV. A further season of 13 episodes was shown under the title Oh Mr. Toad in some countries, whilst retained the title The Wind in the Willows in others. So you had The Wind in the Willows. There was the movie I saw, but there was one from 1984 to 1988. Then they had this. And there's been other adaptations, but some of the adaptations, they don't have the charm of the stop motion animation. I mean, I'm looking at here, there's one in 2006, and it looks like complete utter garbage. I mean, yeah, you have people like Bob Hoskins and Michael Murphy and such in it, but it makes you go, then why the fuck are they called Mr. Toad? It's just the people wearing regular clothes. I guess they're just called that for shits and giggles. Yeah, that looks like shit. Here, at least, again, the charm of the stop motion animation, and like the Toad, like the caricatures of each character look really good. You know, the details, the designs. The Toad especially stood out to me. Maybe because it's like 5 feet away from a turtle, and I'm a Ninja Turtle fan, so maybe that's why. But still, there's really not a whole lot for me to say about it. Like I said, it's very straightforward. I could not find a trailer to put onto here. So yeah, you just look up A Tale of Two Toads. Maybe over here I'll have the cover, the poster. And like I said, if it brings you back any nostalgia memories because you saw it, or you're a parent, you want to show something to your kid that's doesn't have goddamn, doesn't have fart jokes, doesn't have shit jokes, doesn't have vomit jokes, doesn't have, it's very harmless, innocent, clean entertainment that, again, other than Toad's wacky persona, the rest of it has a fairly calm demeanor to its proceedings. Like I said, most of that, even the villains are more articulate than you would see in, say, in a cartoon nowadays. You have a villain like these, even the villains are a bit more articulate, the British type of villains, maybe. But seriously, it was fun to watch, and like I said, it didn't take too much of my time. You find it for free on YouTube. One person split into like 4 parts, and each part's like 15 minutes long. So, like I said, it's not a bad flick at all. Not a bad flick at all. So, with that said, thank you once again, Paul. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. We will see you guys later. Bye-bye.